Hello, this is Mike Harmon, and welcome to the fields at Southern Virginia University, where we have our second lacrosse game of the day. The men's lacrosse team from Southern Virginia will take on the captains from Christopher Newport University. The captains come into this conference with a record of 9-2, 3-0 in the Capital Athletic Conference, while the Knights come in 5-6, 2-3 in the Capital Athletic Conference. And this is a great situation for the Knights as they are squarely in the fifth position in the standings. The only problem that there may be is now the Knights go on a road road games where they're playing ranked teams. Christopher Newport is just right outside the top 20. They received votes for the top 20 this past week. Again, the Capital Athletic Conference, 3 teams in the top 20 with Christopher Newport right outside of it. Starting today for the captains will be number 2, Ryan Mills, number 10, Matt Hayden, number 11, Will Geist, number 12, Joey Ronaldo, number 13, Trevor Royce, number 23, Thomas Courtney, number 25, Matthew Christ, number 31, David Magneberger, and number 44, Michael Mabry. For your Knights, number 4, Greg Gowdy, number 7, Spencer Tunick, number 11, Syrian Giroux, number 12, Logan Lund, number 16, Zach Danneman, number 22, Casey Rich. Number 30, Peyton Kimber. Number 36, Derek Marks. Number 40, Colin Maxfield. And in goal will be number 45, Ian Arvey. Or Ian Arvey, excuse me, Ian. Some of the Knights are ranked in the Capital Athletic Conference. Rich leads the Capital Athletic Conference in goals scored. Zach Danneman is tied for 6th in goals scored, and Spencer Tunick is tied for 11th in goals scored. So the Knights have made huge strides. Again, 5th place so far in the Capital Athletic Conference with major contests coming up on the road. This one against Christopher Newport at home. Christopher Newport just outside the top 20. And we'll see if the Knights can continue some great play as they go up against the captains. Some of the big keys that we'll be watching today will be for the Knights. Face-off wins. Logan Lund, can he win face-offs against the captains? Turnovers. Do the Knights, are they able to control their turnovers and not have excessive turnovers? And clears. If the Knights can win those 3 areas, they have a great chance of upsetting the captains. The face-off is getting ready to happen as we have Lund. And as soon as we can see the number for Christopher Newport, we'll let you know who that's in the face-off circle for them. Looks like it was number 8, and he's going to win control. Tony Cruz. Mabry with the ball now. As you see the Knights, and what we've seen so far this year is a lot of pressure on clears. And the captains are able to clear it. They come into the offensive end, and a huge shot for number 25, Matthew Christ, and he skips it past Arvey for the first goal, 30 seconds into the first quarter. Back to the face-off again. We'll have Lund and Cruz. This is one of the critical points, is winning the face-offs. The captains are able to control it. This time the Knights were able to get back, set up their defense, as the captains were able to exploit a clear as the Knights were pressing on defense and get the first goal of the game 30 seconds into the game. See the captains being very cautious. Kind of like a heavyweight fight where there's just little feints here and there. Go to goal. Arvey with a great save on the shot by Maddenberger. Kember able to clear it himself. We'll see what type of offense the Knights can mount now against this captain's defense. Again, we talked earlier how Rich, Danneman, and Tunick are in the top goal scorers for the Capital Athletic Conference, with Rich being the number one goal scorer in the conference. Tunick back behind the goal, and he had a rare game where he only scored one goal the last time we saw the Knights. Loses control. Ground ball. Ball's up in the air and is picked up by 21 for the captain's Dreyer. And Arvey has a great save, but also has given up a goal early in this first quarter. And we'll see if the wind has any effect on passes. And there was just a great pass and a cut to the goal by number 11, Geis. Just a straight cut to goal. Assist by Chris to Geis. Geis is able to sneak it past Arvey. And against a team like CNU, you don't want to fall too far behind. You have to get something going on the offensive end in the next two goals. London Cruz back into the face-off circle. Had a penalty on Cruz. Turns the ball over to the Knights. Rich with the ball, and they'll be paying a lot of attention to Rich. As you see, the long pole was on him. And the wind really whipping outside now. We'll have to see if it has any effect on not the shots, because the shots are really going to come off hot off the sticks, but passing may be a problem with this wind gusting. Brady Cook up, and he's been a great playmaker for the Knights this year. Shot on goal. Backed up by the Knights. Peyton Kember looking to make a move. Ball played behind the goal. Little backhanded wrist shot. Goes out of bounds. Knights are there to back it up. This is a great offensive possession for the Knights as they slow down the attack of the Captains, but again having multiple shots on goal. You can see the Captains really packing it in around the goal now. Peyton Kember. Past the double team, passes to Rich. Rich with a left-hand shot. Sneaks it past Hayden, the goalkeeper, to bring the Knights to within one. So Rich is able to go one way, come back to his left hand, and fire it past Hayden for the goal. Back into the face-off circle. Lund versus Cruz. Lund's able to win the face-off. And again, face-off so critical for the Knights' success. Rich with it. Double team now. There'll be a foul called. Looks like the Knights, if they don't score, will get a chance to go up on a man possession. Danneman pushed to the ground, gets up, off the pipes, and now we'll see what the foul is. Be some type of illegal check. Put the Knights in a man-up position now. Knights retain possession after that ground ball. Penalty was on Dreyer for holding. That's a 30-second penalty. Knights look to exploit this man-up offense. Try to get the game-tying goal. Brady Cook right on the doorstep. Picks it up. Slides it in. And great save by Hayden. Cook with a nice shot. Quick attack. And the transition by the captains. Phenomenal. And that's the type of speed that the Knights are going to have to contend with all day long. You have to think now, are you going to press on any type of clear? Because if the captains can pass that well and get 2-on-3 or 2-on-1 transitions, it could be a long day for the Knights. Face off. Lund versus Cruz again. Lund's able to win the face-off. Plays it ahead to Rich. And Rich may get into the mentality of, I need to put the team on my back until we can get everybody else flowing in this game. Ball was lost in the air to Dean Anderson. Anderson gives it off to Kimber. Bangeter now in, looking to make something happen. Takes it to the near corner. Looks for reverse fields. Plays it out to Danneman. Danneman looking for an opening for a shot. Comes around the crease. Tried to play it over the top. Hayden was there for a deflection. Danneman looking to bull his way in. And skips the ball past Hayden. Score for the Knights. So Danneman brings the Knights back within one. As you can see, if the Knights can win the face-offs and retain possession, they have a great chance of pulling off the upset. It's when they lose possession of the ball, they're susceptible to the captain's fast break opportunities. Cruz versus Lund. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the captains. Again, pressure defense by the Knights. Let's see if they can stop the captains on their attack. Captains look to set up their offense. Bring extra attackers in. Send off a few. Knights defense really stout now. Looks to be set. More of a zone look. Shot well off to the goalkeeper's left-hand side, but backed up by the captains. Ball's laid back. Skip shot. Poked away by Arvey. Still remains in possession of the captains. Great save by Arvey again on the shot. Ball on the ground. Scooped up by Giroux. Arvey looking to clear. Lays it back to Maxfield. Maxfield to Arvey, and you can see a lot of pressure applied by these captains. Cook able to relieve the pressure himself, taking the ball all the way down the field. Casey Rich plays it out in front to Danneman. Danneman with a nice underhand flip from behind. Scoop shot to tie the game up. Back to the face-off. Lund versus Cruz. Ball's turned over to the Knights. Dean Anderson brings it into the offensive end. And the Knights have a chance to take the lead for the first time in the game. Peyton Kimberly plays it back to Bangeter. Bangeter with a nice move. Huge save. Ball's on the ground and picked up by Hayden, the goalkeeper. Here's the captains on their offensive transition now. And the Knights are able to get back and stop that great transition that we've seen the captains have. High shot. Backed up by the captains. Nice save there by Arvey on the captain's shot. Ball's out of bounds. Turned over to the captains. After the great save by Arvey, an errant pass turns the ball back over to the captains. And it hasn't been the set defense that has allowed the captains to score their 3 goals. It's been the transition defense. Ball reversed to the far side of the field. Tried to shovel it in to number 11, Geis. Nice check by Giroux. Wide shot by the captains. Retain possession. And it's great to see the Knights being able to play this set defense without major fouls. Arvey with a huge save. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by number 10, Cargbo. And we're looking to clear the ball now. And that was a huge pickup of a ground ball by Ibrahim Cargbo. As if the Captains would have got it, they'd had a great shot on goal. Big wind up. Huge wind up by Cook. Have a foul. Ball's turned over to the Captains. They're looking to clear. And the Captains are able to clear. In the last game against Virginia Wesleyan, we saw two great goal scorers go at each other. For the Knights, we talked earlier how they have 3 goal scorers and a huge save by Arby in the top 11 for the Capital Athletic Conference. There's no one on Christopher Newport's team that is in the top 10 for goal scorers. They do it by committee. Brady Cook and Peyton Kimber look to clear to the ball. Kimber lays it off to Bangeter. Cook out with the point. And has been a great creative playmaker for his teammates and himself. Has a huge rocket shot. There's Kimber. Ball's checked away from him. Still on the ground. Foul called, and it's going to be the Captain's ball. They look to clear. Runs into the referee. And the ground ball picked up by Kimber. Gets it back to Cook. And unfortunately, the referees are in play. For their health, it's unfortunate. For us, in that instance, great that they were in play. It's a minute 30 left in this first quarter as the Knights seek to take their first lead of the game. Banger exploring the middle. Couple jukes. Lays it off to Larson. Larson looking to make something happen. Back to the middle. Bounces past Kimber, but Bangeter is able to pick it up. Rich comes out to settle things down. Lays it off to Kimber. Errant pass. Turnover to the Captains. Knights pressing up. Captains look to clear. With 30 seconds left to go. And another huge save by Arvey. As Geis was right there on the doorstep. Just left of the goalkeeper. Knights look to clear with 12 seconds left. And with 2 seconds left, turnover. And there's the quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, Southern Virginia 3, Christopher Newport 3. Stay with us for the beginning of the second quarter. Well, welcome back to the beginning of the second quarter as Southern Virginia and Christopher Newport tied at 3. Waiting for the face-off now. As we'll have Cruz of Christopher Newport against Lund of Southern Virginia. And you can see the wind whipping the uniforms of both teams out there. Great first quarter by Southern Virginia. Not allowing Christopher Newport to run away and hide after they scored the first 2 goals of the quarter. Lund able to win the face-off. Absorbs a huge check by Cruz. Was getting ready to be pushed out of bounds. Flipped it back and the turnover goes to the captains. Harvey's been doing a great job in goal for the Knights as he has 6 saves in that first quarter. The Knights won more face-offs than the captains, 5-3. And the turnovers are even at 1 or 7. Cause turnovers are even 1-1. Turnovers, though, for the Knights, 7. Christopher Newport, 1. There you see the Knights trying to clear now as the captains press up. Derek Marks able to clear down to Casey Rich. Rich plays the ball out to Anderson. Line switch now for the Knights as Brady Cook looks to attack. And a huge save by Hayden on that high shot. Looks to clear quickly for the captains. The Knights so aware of that offensive transition that the captains did so well in the first quarter, making sure they get back. Errant pass as Bonner was trying to get the ball, as Foster was trying to get the ball to Mills. Pass out of bounds, goes over to the Knights, and the Knights look to clear. Harvey with a great pass to Kimber. Kimber splits the double team and slides into the offensive end. Again, Knights looking to get their first lead of the game now. And what a huge boost of confidence it would be if the Knights could go up on Christopher Newport. Again, Newport comes in 3-0 in the conference. Ball's played behind a tunic. Quickly a double team closed down by the captains. Kimber spins. Gets checked by number 38 of Christopher Newport. That's Gingerich. Quick offensive transition. O'Connell with Kimber chasing him. Ball slips out of his stick. Fortunate for the captains as Geis is able to pick it up. Shot wide to the goalkeeper's left, backed up by the captains. And when the captains have had to run their set offense against a set defense, haven't seen the success that we've seen in their transition game. So the Knights have effectively closed down that transition game after the first 5 minutes of the first quarter and found the offensive end to their liking for this 3-3 tie. shot on goal. And it goes in. Number 25, Matthew Christ. And so the Knights, looking to take the lead, now look to even this game up with 10:51 left to go in the second quarter. Back to face off, we'll have Lund versus Cruz. Making sure everything's set there at the face-off circle, so no advantage is given. Ball still on the ground. Nice check. Ball's over to Marymount. Another great save by Arvey. Ground ball. Picked up by Gowdy. Knights looking to clear. Huge stick check by the captains. And we're going to have a penalty here. Quick restart by the captains. And a skip shot past Arvey as the captains now take a 2-goal lead. And that was number 12, Joy Rolando, excuse me. In other action around, Wesley beat the Knights baseball team in the first of the doubleheader, 10-4. The Knights women's tennis team falls 9-0. The women's lacrosse team fell 18-4. And the softball team lost 18-0 in the first of their doubleheader as we see Lund win the faceoff. And this is where Newport is starting to take advantage of winning those face-offs as we're starting to see the score creep out to a 2-goal lead for the captains. High shot by McKenna. Backed up by the captains. One of the positives that we've seen so far in this game, no man down situations that the Knights have put themselves in. We've seen in other games where they've really put themselves in precarious situations, going one man down or two men down by committing some slashing fouls. Another sidearm shot goes high over the goal. Backed up by the captains. And the captains enjoy a 2-goal lead. Arvey with a nice save. Captains are still able to back it up. And this is the 4th possession in a row that the captains have had. And if you're the Knights, you need to shut them down, gain possession, and get to the offensive end. As we talked about earlier with the women's team, chasing just wears your legs out much more than being chased. There we go. Offensive opportunity now for the Knights as the Captains turn the ball over. Errant pass out of bounds. Knights look to clear. Harvey hits Cook. Cook plays it ahead to Danneman. Danneman with a little fade jump shot for his second goal of the game. And he brings the Knights to within one. And there we see the Knights on their own transition, being able to take advantage of the Captains. So now this face-off becomes even more important, as if Lund can win it and put the Knights right back onto the offensive end, can really gain and capture that momentum, keep it on their side for the rest of this quarter. They could go in at halftime with a lead. Ground ball. Picked up by Cruz. Played behind the goal. And here we see again the Knights defense able to settle in. Trying to make it extremely tough. RV with another save. Another save picked up right on the goal step. 25 Chris saying he was pushed in the back. But the referees say play on. And two huge saves by RV. Now it's the Knights' turn to settle things down. Kimber looks to make a run. Plays it across to Cook. Cook did a great job of recovering that pass as it bounced right at his feet. Off the pipes. And here we have a transition. And you see number 24, Foster, on the transition, just able to skip it to the right-hand side into the goal past RV. And again, CNU gets back to that 2-goal lead. The Knights, though, will be not ecstatic, but will be satisfied if they can keep within 2 and in the last few minutes of the game be able to pull it out. I'm sure they would love to go in at halftime tied or up, but a 2-goal lead to or 2-goal deficit to a team that's just right outside the top 20, the Knights have made great strides and are playing at a very high level lacrosse right now. I know they lost to Virginia Wesleyan earlier in the week, but CNU again comes in having received votes to be in the top 20. They're just right outside of it, and the Knights are hanging with them. Lund's able to pick up the ball off the face-off. Loose ball on the pass, picked up by the Captains. Now the Captains settle it back down. Knights are pointing and talking to their defensive assignments. Quick ball movement by the Captains, trying to catch the Knights in a defensive slide. Attack coming. Funneled out by the Knights defenders. Number 20, especially number 25, Sean Takala. Errant pass. And the ball is going to go over as it rolls out of bounds. It's going to go over to the Knights. Danneman looking to start the ball. Tries to go through a triple team. Oh, and they're going to call a penalty on Zach, turning the ball over to the captains, and Zach may have been wiser to pass that ball instead of trying to accept the triple team. Quick passing around the perimeter. Captains again looking to try to catch the Knights in a slide. Great help as we saw Gowdy fainting over to the double team and then getting quickly back to his man. They're going to say that's a shot, backed up by the captains. I think it was more of a pass, but that's up to the referee's discretion. Nice check there by number 6, Dean Anderson. Oh, huge pass. An assist from number 25, Matthew Christ, to number 11, Will Geis. Geis, again, is able to now extend the lead to the highest it's been in this game to 3. Back into the face-off circle. Won by the captains. Captains settling into their offense now. There we see the defender, Maxfield. Ball's loose on the ground, picked up by the captains. Played behind. Tries to lay it in front to number 6. And a wide shot to the left of Arvey. Captains are able to back it up. Arvey's done a great job of stopping a lot of shots. But he's also been facing a lot of shots, and as you can see, he's let 7 go by. Not all his fault. Great save by Arvey on that skip shot. Another one off the pipe and down and in, and just the pipes giveth and the pipe taketh away, and that time it hit the top pipe. The crossbar came down and over the line. Had you see number 4, Shane McKenna, get into the scoring act. And this is a dangerous time for the Knights as the captain's really starting to feel that momentum. And with 1:44 left before halftime, the Knights need to stop the bleeding now, not give up another goal, and not let Christopher Newport go on a run. Now you see Dean Anderson coming into the face-off circle, trying to break the momentum of the captains. And that's what you have to be so careful about with some of these teams that are nationally ranked or right outside the rankings. Just that, I know it's not a word, but that spurt ability. And there's a quick attack again. It's off of a transition. And you see number 25, Matthew Chris, get another score. And now, within a matter of seconds, the lead is expanded to 5. And again, we talked about that spurt ability, and that's what these teams that are in the upper tier of the national rankings, that's what they do the best. Once they start to get the momentum, they can go on a 4, 5, 6 goal spurt and just put the game out of reach. Great timeout called by Coach Lamb, trying to get his Knights refocused. While we have a timeout, we'll look at some other scores that are going on around the Knights today in their athletics. Women's tennis played Mary Washington and fell to Mary Washington 9-0. The lacrosse team, women's lacrosse team, played Marymount and fell 18-5. Softball played Salisbury in game 1 and lost that at the end of 5, 18-0. And the men's baseball team is at a doubleheader up at Wesley. They lost the first game 10-4. They're in the second game now. The women's softball team is in the second game of their doubleheader, and they trail in the second inning. They trail Salisbury 2-0. And we talked about all the ranked teams that the Knights have been playing today. This is a predominantly lacrosse-driven conference, but on the softball side of softball, baseball, there's always nationally ranked teams that the Knights are going up against. Unfortunately for the softball team, they're playing the number 9 team in the nation. So if anybody's out there listening and you want to play the best teams in the nation, come to Southern Virginia and play. They are part of the Capital Athletic Conference, the New Jersey Conference in football, which has Wesley, which is always ranked in the top 5 in the nation. If you want to test yourself, come here regardless of what sport you play, and you will play nationally ranked teams. Seeing you with the win of the face-off, and they may look to get the last shot of the day, or of this first half. Quick shot on goal, saved by Arvey. And the Knights with a chance to attack now. Also, we have to congratulate Marcus Begg, who not only was a Capital Athletic Conference Player of the Year, but the National Baseball Writers Association Hitter of the Week. So our athletes not only getting conference recognition, but national recognition also. Another reason why you may want to come here. Coach Lamb calls another timeout, trying to make sure that they get a goal in this last 34 seconds in order to cut into this 5-goal lead and go into the half with some type of momentum. Men's tennis is playing right now, but all our teams are in action today. Men's tennis is playing St. Mary's just down the hill from us. Well, this is an important 34 seconds for the Knights. You want to get the last shot. You don't want Christopher Newport to have a chance to run that tremendous offensive transition that we've seen and get another shot on goal. You want to go into halftime with momentum starting to go back onto your side, and you want to cut that lead from 5 goals down to 4. The weather looks great outside, but if you're out there, you're being blown around by gusting winds up to 30 miles an hour. So here the Knights come out of their timeout. Let's see if they can not only get the last shot of this first half, but make the last shot count of the first half. Cook, who's been great in these situations, with the ball. Stick check by the captains. Ball on the ground. Rich and company trying to get it. The captains maintain possession. Get the ball ahead. 17 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. Another stick check. Captains get possession. And a wide shot by the captain's number 9, Jake O'Connell. 2 seconds left to go in the half. Arvey way down the field as time expires. And so we go into halftime with the Knights of Southern Virginia trailing the captains of Christopher Newport by 5. The score 9-4. Stay with us as we return after halftime. Thank you for joining us in the second half. A little bit of technical difficulty there, but we're back. Started the second half, this third quarter, as the Knights won the face-off and continue to maintain possession now. There you see Ryan Larson playing it in the back to Danneman. A ball was out on the field. See Zach just kind of kicking it off there. But the Knights need to regain some momentum, and a goal here at the very beginning of this quarter will be great. Danneman with a shot over the top of the goal. Backed up by the Knights. Tunick, who's been very quiet in the last two games now with the ball. Played it off to Rich. Rich needs to get going for the Knights. But the captains aren't going to allow him as they triple team him. And here comes the captains on this huge fast break. Great check out of bounds there by Brady Cook as the captains turn the ball over. In that first half, CNU outshot the Knights 33-10. Won the ground balls 12-9. And you see Peyton Kimber trying to squeeze through that captain's defense. Face-offs, CNU won 9 out of 15. As the Knights won 6 out of 15. Clears, CNU was a perfect 6 for 6 as the Knights were 11 for 4. Scoring goals in that first half for CNU, Matthew Christ with 3, Real Geis with 2, Randy Foster with 1, Shane McKenna with 1, Joy Rolando with 1, and Ryan Mills with 1. For the Knights, Zach Dannon with 3, Casey Rich with 1. So both Rich and Tunick need to get going for the Knights. Give them those 2 extra goal scores as they're really double and triple teaming Rich now. Shot high over the goal. Backed up by the captains. Great stick check there. As the Knights are now on their own offensive transition. Gowdy now plays it back to Maxfield. Over to Arvey. Arvey looking to clear. Oh, and an errant pass turns the ball back over to the captains. How unfortunate for the Knights. Oh, nice passing as, again, the transition, and you can just see the captains run to spots. And they score a goal which extends the lead now 10-4. And so great passing again by the captains leads to a transition goal, and they extend their lead back to 6. And that's Matthew Christ that scored the goal, assist by Will Geis. Back into face-off, and that's a new person in the face-off circle for the Knights, Casey Rich. Captains win the face-off. Look to clear now. As you have Joy Rolando all the way down, clears from one end to the next and takes the shot right past Arvey. No Knight stepped up to stop him or to veer him off his path. And so now the Knights trail 11-4. Casey Rich back into the face-off circle. And Rich wins the face-off. Lays it back to Cook. Cook with a high, hard shot. I think it was deflected by the goalkeeper, Hayden. Dean Anderson with the ball in the near corner. Again, you can see the dust flaring up from the road as those wind gusts of 30 miles an hour come barreling through the little pass that we're in here at our athletic facilities. Kimber with the ball, looking to make a move. Lays it off to Anderson, or Danneman, excuse me. Danneman shot is bounced out of there by Hayden. Loose ball picked up by Tunick. Kimber from behind the goal will have a penalty. And now it looks like the Knights are going to be a man up, as that was number 9, Jake O'Connell, committing the foul. So here she is, shot of Coach Lamb. Trying to figure out how to crack this captain's defense. So now the man-up opportunity, as O'Connell was called for holding. It's a 30-second penalty. Great chance for the Knights to get a goal back. And there's a huge shot into goal by Casey Rich, his second of the game. And the Knights were able to exploit their man-up opportunity. And maybe that goal will get Rich rolling now. So that brings the lead that CNU enjoys down to 6. And again, trying to get Rich involved in any way that they can. They've had him in the face-off circle for the last 3 times. Ball's up on the ground. Scooped up by Anderson. And winning the face-off, great for the Knights as they have another opportunity to cut into this goal lead by CNU captains. There we see Anderson go off. On comes number 24 for the Knights, Bonner. Brady Cook looks to crack the defense, trying to find somebody open. There's Rich open. Turns back to his left, takes a shot, and a kick save there by number 10, Hayden, the goalkeeper. And we saw Rich, on his first goal, shoot from that left to right position. Danneman trying to force his way in. And another jump shot by Danneman finds the upper left-hand corner. to cut into this lead by the Captains brings it back to a 5-goal lead now. And again, all this has been started by the Knights being able to win the face-offs. And in the face-off has been Casey Rich. There you see Rich back in the face-off now. And there's number 4 that the Knights have won. And a quick shot by Rich to bring the Knights to within 4. And causes the Captains to call a timeout, and the change that Coach Lamb has made in the face-off circle is really paying dividends as the Knights are able to cut into the lead that CNU has been enjoying. Brings it down to 4 with 8:19 left to go in the third quarter. Timeout, Captains. Stay with us as we return. And now we return as Casey Rich has brought this team in back to a 4-goal lead. We're going to have an illegal stick that was being used out on the field. The referees check every so often. They checked one stick from each side after that goal. And the Captain's stick was deemed illegal. And it looked like that was Cruz's stick that was deemed illegal. So because of that, the Knights will start with the ball in their offensive end now. Down only 4. And again, the face-offs being won by the Knights, especially Casey Rich, being able to win, not only win the face-offs, but scoop up the ground ball, go to goal, has really got him participating and hot. There we see a 3-minute extra man opportunity for the Knights now because of the illegal stick. And there's a shot by Tunick, able to get into the scoring column as the Knights come back. And we see that they're slowly creeping up. A 3-goal lead now enjoyed by the Captains of CNU as the Knights continue to enjoy the man opportunity. That 3-minute penalty not releasable on the goal scored. And so within a matter of minutes, the Knights have been able to cut into a sizable Captain's lead to a manageable 3 goals now. Captains are able to win the face-off opportunity there. Ball on the ground. Lobbed into the offensive end. Still on the ground. Scooped up by the captains. Huge stick check by number 11 of the Knights, Giroux. And because of that huge stick check, the Knights gain possession. Quick transition by number 28 of the Knights, Mike Anderson. Anderson off to his brother Dean. Plays it over to Cook. And again, this man-up opportunity that the Knights face as the captains put themselves in a huge hole by having an illegal stick out on the field. Errant pass there, picked up by the goalkeeper, number 10. Tries to play it over, but the ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Knights. Danneman coming to goal. And is able to sneak it past the right-hand side of Hayden for another goal to bring it to within 2. And you can see the excitement there by Danneman, the young freshman. And so now the Knights trail by 2 with 6:37 left to go in this quarter. And still, the captain's down a man because of the 3-minute penalty. Because that penalty was on Cruz, he's not able to be in there to take the face-offs. Lund's not taking the face-offs for the Knights as they made the change in this quarter to Casey Rich. Rich is able to scoop up the ball. Tunick with the ball now. And again, the Knights are able to take great advantage and take care of this opportunity of there being a man up for 3 minutes as we've seen them score several goals. See Ryan Larson out there. Cook just took his eye off the pass. It dribbled off his stick. Now here comes a transition by the captains. And this is where they've been deadly, but great job by Greg Gowdy there with his long pole. A lot of pressure by the Knights now. And we're going to have a penalty on the captains. Larson starts it quickly. Lays it over to Danneman, and Danneman scores again. Same spot. And that brings the Knights to within 1. And so earlier in the season, we saw the Knights having trouble converting on a man-up situation. Today against the captains, no trouble at all, as every possession they've had in this 3-minute man-up situation, they've been able to score. I can take the lead and ultimately win this game. They can look back on this 3-minute stretch saying, this is where we won the game. Doing a great job. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the captains. I mean, if you're the Knights, this is the game that you need to win. If you can take this game, you squarely put yourself in position for the 5th, 6th spot in the Capital Athletic Conference. You go on the road in the next 2 games to ranked teams, York and Frostburg. See Kimber there checking. Off shot. Backed up though by the captains. Gowdy out to check. And that restores some order for them. As you see, number 31, Dave Madgeberger, able to get the goal. And now it looks like the penalty has been released. The captain's back to full strength as you see Cruz back in there in the face-off, and he'll be going up against Rich. Knights with a 2-goal deficit, but much better than when we were at about the 13-minute mark in this third quarter. Cruz able to win. Captains thought better of the quick shot. And you see Gowdy with the long pole able to really stretch the defense out there. Make the turn. Now it's going to be up to the Knights defense to. The offense did its job coming back with the man-up situations, and a long, huge shot by number 24, Randy Thomas, able to skip it by Arvey. And that was about a 20-yard shot that we saw. And so now CNU enjoys a 3-goal lead. Rich back in and needs to win this face-off. Cruz comes out of there with it. And again, the Knights made their huge run when Cruz was out for the 3-minute penalty of illegal equipment. The captains have to be breathing a sigh of relief as they saw that huge lead they enjoyed dwindle to 2. Captain's slowing things down. Quick passing, but the defensive slides by the Knights been up to it. Nice stick check. Ball on the ground. Still on the ground. Oh, picked up by the captains. The Knights had a huge opportunity to pick it up. And there's another long shot past Arvey, just to his right, high right corner. That's number 24. Randy Foster able to find the back of the net for the captains. So 2:51 left to go in the third. The captains starting to regain momentum as they increase their lead back to 4. Danneman now is going to try the face-off circle for the Knights against Cruz. So while he was in there, Casey Rich did one heck of a job winning face-offs and scoring off of face-offs for the Knights. Ball on the ground. Danneman picks it up. And the excitable freshman gets it to Tunick. Tunick with the fake shot. Oh, a huge stick check there by the captains. Ball on the ground. Danneman's able to come out of there with it. Kimber waiting for Cook. Cook can't handle the pass. Turnover to the captains, and here they come on their great transition. Nice. Big job getting back. Just, again, not able to stop that transition as the captains run to spot. Like everybody knows where each other are. That time it was a pass from the right-hand side of the field to the left. And a huge shot by number 11, Will Geis, to give the Captains a 5-goal lead now with 2:10 left to go in the quarter. Danneman's going to go back into the face-off circle. Met by Cruz. And don't know what happened there, but the Captains were given the ball on the face-off. Something about the sticks. Attacked by the Captains. Right past Arby, and there's a lot of confusion on the Knights defense now. You can see them talking to each other. Number 24, Randy Foster, able to get into the goal scoring column. And just like that, we saw the Knights be able to take advantage of the man-up situation that they enjoyed, come back to within 1 goal, and now the Captains back to full strength, able to get back out there and increase the goal for them by 6. Casey Rich now into the face-off circle. Rich wins the face-off. Ball was on the ground, picked up by the Knights. Number 1, Mike Bangeter. Cook with it. It was met with a lot of stiff resistance by number 7, Christopher Albright. Cook with a quick shot, trying to catch the goalkeeper, Hayden, unaware. But Hayden was equal to the task. Now looking to clear. Knights doing a great job putting pressure, especially Danneman. Long pass down the field. Ball's on the ground. Picked up by the Captains. Knights riding the Captains out of there. Causes the turnover. Arvy's able to pick the ground ball up. Clears it out to Bangeter now. Bangeter all the way down the field. Plays it back to Kimber. Bangeter receives the pass back. And a stick check and pickup of the ground ball by the quarters. The Captains are showing. Ball on the ground with 3 seconds left. 2, 1. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. And so after the end of the third quarter, we saw the Knights spring back quickly to within 1 of the Captains. The Captains were able to get back to full strength. And then we saw that spurt ability by them to increase their lead back to 6. Stay with us for the exciting conclusion of the fourth quarter of the lacrosse game here with the Knights versus the Captains. back at the fields to start this fourth quarter where the Knights have a deficit of 6 to the Captains. And now we're going to see a penalty called on the Captains before the face-off even begins. And it looks like it's going to be number 8, Tony Cruz, called for another penalty. And we'll have to see what man-up situation this will give the Knights, as they have been great at taking advantage of their man-up situations. Goal scorers for the Knights so far today. We have Danneman with 6, Casey Rich with 3, Spencer Tunick with 1. For the Captains, we have Randy Foster with 4, Matthew Crisp with 4, Will Geis with 3, Joey Rolando with 2, Ryan Mills with 1, Shane McKenna with 1, and Dave Madberger with 1. Trying to find out what the penalty was for. As they're enforcing it now. And they got Cruz again for illegal equipment. He came back out on the field with his old lacrosse stick that was thrown out before. The Knights will be up a man for 3 minutes now. And I even wonder if we'll be able to see Cruz again the rest of this game. After 2 penalties like that, he may be ejected from the game. Knights looking to take advantage of this man-up opportunity for the first 3 minutes of this fourth quarter. Ball on the ground. Picked up by Kimber, and we're going to have a crease violation. Ball goes over to the Captains. There we go. We found them. Captains with the ball. Obviously, they want to keep the ball on their offensive end as much as possible to kill this penalty. The Knights would love to force a turnover to get back to their offensive end. There you see Ryan Larson and Peyton Kimber going to chase number 24, Randy Foster. Again, looks like the Captain is just looking to maintain possession to kill this 3-minute penalty. 1 minute already down. There's number 24, Foster. Huge shot. Backed up by the Captains. And looks like the Knights may have just fell a little bit asleep there as Foster came up with no one in his way. Another big shot. Again, the Knights not paying attention to what's going on out there. As you see, number 11, Will Geis, get another goal. Man down goal. Which has got to be eating at the coaching staff and Coach Lamb of Southern Virginia, as this should be their time to really catch back up. There you see Danneman against number 50, Maloney, in the face-off circle. Danneman scrambling, trying to win the face-off. Ground ball. Picked up by Danneman. Now the Knights need to take advantage of this man up. They got to get that goal back. And they need to do it kind of quickly as they're heading into the 3rd minute of the penalty. And the Knights taking their time. Peyton Kimber on now. Plays it over to Rich. Rich out to Cook. Have Diamond up on the point now. Looking inside to try to get to Larson. Couldn't catch the pass as it was deflected, I do believe. And now the Captains look to clear. Long downfield clear. Out of bounds. Goes over to the Knights. And 30 seconds left in this 3-minute penalty that started. Big wind-up and shot by Cook. Looks like it's deflected by Hayden. And in just a few seconds, the penalty will be completed. Another big save by Hayden. And in 4 seconds, the penalty will be released and they'll be back to even strength. And now the Captains are back to even strength. And the Knights not able to cut into that lead. Actually lost ground on the lead as they gave up a man-up goal. Foster being checked by Cargbo now. Shot wide. Backed up by the Captains though. See Foster again being checked by Cargbo. Finds number 12, Joy Rolando. And again, these shots are coming from outside of 15 to 20 yards. And just rocket shots that Arvey cannot get his stick on. And so that increases the lead to 8 goals now with 11 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. And you can kind of feel the air being deflated out of the hopes of the Knights now. Still 11 minutes, a long time to go. Danneman working for the face-off as Maloney is able to win the face-off. Captain's on the transition. And Albright slows it down. As the Captains are starting to feel the clock be on their side. Well, so far a valiant effort by the Knights today. We've seen a lot of great things happen, especially their man-up opportunity they had in this game. The 3-minute man-up opportunity they had. The first one they were able to really take advantage of, score a lot of goals off. The second one weren't able to score any goals off their man-up for 3 minutes and actually gave up one. And so the give and take there is we saw their offensive opportunities expand and then able to take advantage of the opportunities for the most part. But then in this second opportunity they had in this fourth quarter, just not able to find that magic. An attack on goal by number 2, Ryan Mills, and he's able to get it past Arvey for another goal. And now the Knights really find themselves in a hole, being down by 9 goals. Maloney, which is one the last few face-offs back in there. And now we see Rich, who started the goal scoring spree in the third quarter for the Knights as he was in the face-off. Maloney, straight to goal, huge shot. Backed up by the captains. And if you're the Knights, you cannot allow that. Oh, and a huge jumping, sliding, twisting goal by number 2, Ryan Mills. And all of a sudden, the Knights defense has become porous as they're allowing shot after shot right at Arvey. And so what was once a 1-goal lead that the captains had in the later stages of the third quarter is now expanded to a 10-goal lead. Danneman in for the face-off. And you can see scrappy young man doing anything he can to win the face-off. Ground ball picked up by Danneman. Danneman tries to save it. Ball still on the ground and picked up by the captains. A Knight is down. The game now to take care of the injured Knight on the field. Saw him grabbing at his shoulder. There we see our trainers out there. Head trainer Chad Mahaffey. Coach Lamb checking on his injured player also. Trying to make sure that the safety of the student athletes come first. And I have to say our trainers do a great job of trying to maintain the safety and health and well-being of all our athletes. Chad Mahaffey, the head trainer, has come in and just put together a great program that these athletes, although they may not enjoy the time that they're in the training room, enjoy the benefits. Looks like that's number 28 of the Knights, Mike Anderson. Great to see him in a sitting position and able to move his left shoulder. A little bit of a smile there by both Chad and Coach Lamb. Great to see the young man get up. Again, as I was talking about, Chad's put together a great program that all the athletes receive great care from. The trainers that we have, they may not appreciate the modalities that they have to go through, but being able to get back to the playing field as quickly as possible and as safely as possible is the goal of our trainers. Captains with the ball now. With the 10-goal lead and with time winding down under the 10-minute mark, really starting to spread their offense out, just trying to eat up some clock. Knights may have to start taking chances now, and we've seen in the past that when the Knights go out and take chances and double team, that leaves wide open shooters, and if you can find them, that's going to put your goalie at risk. Ball turned over to the Knights on an errant pass that went out of bounds. Harvey looking to clear. He finds Giroux. Giroux brings it down. Looks like we're going to have an offsides call. So the ball over to the captains now with 7:40 left to go in this fourth quarter. And if the Knights are going to make a move, they need to do it quickly. And against a team that passes as well as the captains, that may be a tall task. Penalty flag thrown. Again, captain's just looking to eat some clock here, as the Knights are forced to chase. Nice effort by Gowdy on the stick check. Knocked the ball out, but wasn't able to secure the ground ball. Shot off the pipes by Christopher Newport. And now we'll check out what the penalty flag was thrown for. Looks like the Knights will be in their first man down situation of the day. Now we'll see if the captains try to attack or if they just try to eat the clock up with this penalty, trying to get the clock more on their side as they enjoy a 10-goal lead with under 6.5 minutes left to go. There's a shot on goal. Arvey's able to defend. Backed up by the captains. Another shot on goal. Arvey able to make the save. That foul was on Mike Bangeter. Too many players. 30-second opportunity. Captains step in and take the pass away. Ball on the ground, picked up by number 6, Dean Anderson. Plays it ahead. Missed opportunity and pass. Ball still on the ground. Peyton Kimber just runs past it. Errant pass by the captains now, and both teams playing a little sloppy. As we're about to hit under 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the game. Arvey not able to clear. Ball on the ground. Arvey's able to get back into goal after that penalty. And seeing you content just to hold the ball. There you can see just walking with a 10-goal lead, just content again, let the time run out. And it looks like CNU will take a timeout in order to discuss the strategy for this last 4 minutes and 38 seconds. Some other games that went on around the campus today. Women's softball lost to Salisbury in their first game, 18-0. In the second game, in the 5th inning, they're down 10-0. Women's lacrosse lost to Marymount, 18-5. Women's tennis lost to Mary Washington, 9-0. Men's baseball at Wesley lost the first game 10-4. And here in our game against CNU, the men's team trailed the captains 20-10. The Capital Athletic Conference could be renamed the Conference of Nationally Ranked Opponents, as each team this spring has faced nationally ranked opponents. In lacrosse, they face at least 3, sometimes 4 nationally ranked opponents each season. Men's basketball faced Christopher Newport, who made it to the Final Four of the Division III National Championship. In soccer, 2 teams were ranked in the top 20. So if you are out there listening, you want to come and play against nationally ranked opponents each and every season, and you want to help SVU get to that national ranking, this is a place for you to come and apply your athletic skills. Not only your athletic skills will be expanded, but also your academic, social, and spiritual skills. The captain's looking to increase their goal lead. Huge save by Arvey. Arvey's able to pick up the ball. Knights looking to clear as we get to the under 4-minute mark now. You see Josh Rich in there looking to clear the ball. Rich taking the ball all the way down the field. Errant passes. He was looking for Ryan Larson. Derek Marks was able to pick up the ball, though. Penalty by the Knights. Turns it over to the captains. Quick attack. Plays it ahead. And Arvey able to make a huge save as number 15, Andrew Ashley, was right in front of him. There you see Anderson. Dean Anderson in. Takes the ball down. Plays it off to Rich. Scores in the Capital Athletic Conference. Rich, Danneman, and Tunick. Tunick's had a rough 2 games, not being able to score goals at a huge rate. Rich and Danneman have carried most of the load for the Knights today. Kimber, huge shot on goal, picked up by Hayden, and the captains look to clear as we're under 2.5 minutes left. If we look on the women's side also have one of the top goal scorers in the Capital Athletic Conference, Rainey Whitworth. Congratulations to her. We see the captains looking to expand the defense of the Knights and also eat up clock. As I said, Whitworth, one of the top goal scorers, was tied with McGuire of Mary Washington going into today's action at 32 goals apiece. Knights with the ball, looking to clear it. Minute 15 left in this game. We're going to have a turnover by the Knights. Captain's looking to punctuate this game. I'd be very surprised if we saw a shot on goal now. 35 seconds left in the game. Well played game by both teams. A lot of spurts by the captains. Saved by Arvey, as that shot was by number 17, Ian Godley. The captain's just able to get spurts in the last few minutes of the first and second quarter, and then at the beginning of this fourth quarter exploded for goals, as the Knights in the third quarter had worked it back to just a 1-goal lead. 1 second left And that's the game. And so saw a lot of improvement by the Knights, playing a team just outside the top 20, nationally ranked. Each game the Knights play, they're getting better and better. The captains increased to a 4-0 conference record, while the Knights fall to a 2-4 conference record. Huge day up on the hill today, athletic-wise. Thank you for joining us. This is Mike Harmon for Craig Reese and all the crew saying thank you, and join us again.